Well, howdy, Internet folks. How we doing today? Trying to stay the hell away from the news at this point over here because it's depressing as hell. I was watching. I'm going to give me a few minutes at this point over here. I got someone who needs my attention at this point. Hi. Yeah, check her out. The garb I have to wear. Not crazy. Anyway. This is the stuff that we still have to wear, regardless of whatever happens. Now, I was trying to say something about heroes, I guess. Yeah, I had heroes, both living and dead. People that we admire the most. People that made a big difference in our lives. And it's kind of hard because it is. Heroes are fallible people. They make mistakes. And we're freaked out about it because they're not perfect. Now, if we expected people to be perfect, we would have done so already. But we didn't. It's kind of hard to think it that way. But it is, unfortunately. People kind of disappoint others because we put people on so much pedestals these days. Probably wondering if I'm going to be ever getting out of this damn thing. Well, to tell you the truth, honestly, I'm trying to get used to it. I mean, a few minutes of walking with a dog is one thing. Imagine going for hours in this damn thing. Am I a hero to anybody else wearing this thing? Am I considered a hero? I couldn't say. Heroes have their own garb that we envision them to be in. Now, it's not costuming we're talking about. It's what kind of values that we have put into an imaginary fabric that surrounds them. A cloak or something, a hat. Something that gives them a bit of distinction. For me, it's vest wear, or a hat, or both. And glasses, especially these. Does this make me a hero? No. It's the actions that we see, and it's the words that we see being put into effect. It's very hard for people to understand that hero worship is both a good thing and a bad thing. It generally is. Some people just don't understand that, but it is there. And it's kind of hard to understand it and deal with it. Because how are we supposed to be dealing with hero worship? To be honest, I don't know. While I'm working with a computer, getting stuff downloaded, I am still taking the time to remind myself heroes do come in all shapes and sizes. They come in the form of dead people and alive people. They also come in the form of our pets, strangers off the street, friends, family. My heroes, well, first and foremost, well, we're talking about spiritual is one thing. But as mortality speaking, my brother and my mother. Of course, that'd be the natural response when you're grieving like crazy. And I am still grieving like crazy. Now, unmasking the hero to show what kind of character he seems to be on the inside. It's a different story altogether. When you're asthmatic, these damn things are a pain in the ass, but still, you still need to wear these things for the COVID. And it's kind of hard for me to breathe because I am asthmatic. So I understand the argument there. Are we heroes wearing these masks? We are, and heroes have to sacrifice. They have to sacrifice everything for the common good, for an individual's good. They have to sacrifice everything of theirs to help and save another person or another situation or event or whatever. That they have to self-sacrifice to really prove that they are a hero. Of course, if you little things that add up, and also if you have to make sure someone else is going to have whatever they need, you also have to follow that one as well. And I've been trying to do that myself. Not exactly easy, but it's there. People think that masks are cowardly. Maybe they are. Maybe they are, but there's still protection. We look at our idols that we put on pedestals. Were they cowardly? Were they feeling like they were cowardly, or were they just determined to take care of something because they really cared about it? On some occasions, I would have to ask whether or not if they actually had an ulterior motive or not. But you still have to look at the character and the actions and how the person lived a life. It's not all that easy. We've had heroes in our past. We celebrated our heroes until there was a time we discovered that they had a different tendency, and then we've drop-kicked them left and right. We had sports heroes that disappointed us. Some are still divided, and others are adamant about their shining superstars. About the ones who can go up and face the opponent with great courage. And then only to be accused of things that was proven or wasn't proven, and juries are still out about it, and other actions taken that decrease the value of a hero. Heroes could be also, as I said before, family members. And despite that, what they've gone through, it still depends whether or not we still have feelings for them or not. Family members could be growing up as the best of friends, separated for a while. Life changes them, they come back, and they're different. They're not the same as once was remembered, because there were different times and different visions and different eyes on those. Different levels of maturity, I think. And then our heroes disappoint us when they do things that we thought that they were perfect and they weren't. And we thought they were tight and they weren't. So we have to drop kick them out of our lives. When they come back, needing help, are you going to be the one that still throws them to the curb because they disappointed you a great deal? Or are you going to be taking a chance at this point over here of saying, I'll help you? I know at times, sometimes those people can disappoint us even further by using us. But then there are other legitimate times when they actually are proving that they want to get better, that they want to make amends and make apologies and do what is right to set things straight, to start anew and better relationships. I've had a brother, as you know, best of friends. I still wasn't quite sure about him, but I still loved him anyway. When he went into the military, in the Navy, and came out, a different person, I didn't recognize him. Military had changed this smart-ass and smart-alecky kidding brother to a serious person that I didn't even realize. He also changed into someone dependent upon alcohol and drugs. Although his heart was in the right place, his head wasn't. And things got so convoluted for him. He wanted out entirely of the military and screwed him over forever. Honors that he would have had were forever denied by his government and by the military. And he fought like hell trying to recover it back. Never did. Kind of was upsetting to me. All the times he kept sending letters out, trying to appeal, trying to apologize, trying to show that he had changed, and have the government turn its back on him. Except to say, well, you were a veteran, we'll bury your ass. It's the only thing you get from us. And the thing is, I won't even let them to do that. He had his own way of being memorialized, and so do I. So I still have his ashes over here. But he tried to make good. He had helped a lot of people. He helped himself. And he proved himself to be a better brother and a better best friend. And really became my idol. Even past the time of his death. He sacrificed a hell of a lot. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for him. My mother was the same way. Not in the military, but she had sacrificed a great deal. So there are heroes that we can actually admire. Some heroes we can't deal with because we're too caught up in their flaws, their imperfections. And once we see that their imperfections are showing more than what their character and their virtue and their worth is supposed to be, that's what we focus more on, is the damage they are and damage they've caused and tarnished. Even when humiliated, they become worse because they can't stand dealing with the idea of losing one thing or another, let alone people's respect. Probably fed their ego for a hell of a long while. I've known people like that too. Still do. And you have to let them go. Hardest damn thing in life. To admit it, to acknowledge it, to move on. We can still cherish the memories of our heroes and our fallen idols, but we still have to understand it. And it's humiliating and humbling at the same time that we could be someone else's idol and hero and not realize it. For all the kindness and love we show and don't even realize it. Or don't even want to acknowledge it. But still, we happen to show what kind of a decent person we're theoretically supposed to be. We can be gruff with that person. But an insight to know that they're trying to show that one way or another we actually care. And that's something we haven't shown that to each other. We've lost that. We've lost that in so many ways. I'm hoping maybe people will understand that no matter the imperfections that we see, there's still somewhere a heart of gold that we still have to reach forward towards. And somewhere in there, they're reaching back to us. I know, sounds like a damn sermon, doesn't it? But one of life's lessons that I keep learning as an objective observer, I try to be. But I'll tell you, at times I'm a biased and a subjective observer. I have to admit that. Because it happens to me too many damn times. Anyway, have a good one.